Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's episode of GCBC. Oh, there goes the theme tune again. Oh, almost smooth transition. Never mind. Let's bring in my guest this evening. Good evening, Mr. Charlie Banks. How are you, sir?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you.
You've had a busy weekend of Blood Bowl, I understand.
Yes, I was at the Bugman's Full Beard, which was a lot of fun.
And how did that go for you?
Well, I only played day 2 and ended up winning the Wall of Steel award for only conceding 1 touchdown.
So how many games was that you managed to not concede in?
I played 2 games.
And how long was the tournament?
5 games.
Brilliant. So you must have been popular.
Yeah, well, I did try and give the award back 3 times, but they
wouldn't have it?
No.
No, okay. And what race were you playing?
Ogres.
Was it the last swan song of
It was the
piling
last
on?
of piling on.
Mr. Davo, are you with us, sir?
I am indeed. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I've just been rushing around, but I've made it in time for the stream, which was nice this week.
Yeah, good. Right, on screen at the moment we have a match between Wright 1984 and his Undead team against Darius's Tooth Cove Pirates. Undead's not a team we featured this season thus far. So, Andy, do you want to start off by giving us the rundown of the ideal Undead build?
If we're talking about a TV 1000, the team, then the 2 mummies are a given, the 2 whites are a given, and then it's a question of how many ghouls do you want to put in versus how many rerolls do you want.
Yeah, go on.
What has he gone for?
He does have the 2 mummies that I can see. There is definitely a ghoul on the pitch. There's 2 ghouls. There is definitely a white. Is there any more whites? Oh, yeah, he's got both whites, and then some zombies. No skellies. No skellies. Charlie, how would you build an undead team?
See, I love the zombies purely for the fouling.
No.
But yeah, to be fair, I would just go 2 mummies, 2 whites, 2 ghouls, and then spam zombies and then the rest rerolls.
Yeah. He does have a skeleton. He's on the bench at the moment. I do like skeletons. In fact, he's got a couple of skeletons, to be fair.
The extra movement's good, but I think the AV8 just makes too much of a difference.
I guess it depends who you're playing. If you're playing in a claw-heavy league, then the thick skull's probably better than the... Well, it's definitely better, isn't it, at the end of the day? I see. So, this is an absolute nonsense orc build that we're seeing in front of us. Too many black orcs straight away, I can tell you that.
Has he got more than 2?
Well, yeah, I can see at least 3 on the pitch. Is there 1 knocked out as well?
What a noob.
I know, right? Does he have a 4th black orc? I can't see that. Oh, yes, he does. He does 4 black orcs, 4 blitzers. This guy does not know what he's doing. And how is your season going, Charlie? Tell us about your season and in this Blood Bowl 2 that you were never going to join.
I wish I'd not.
Okay, go on then.
To be fair, I've had an absolute more in the entire season. I managed to get a win in the last game though, which was shocking. But that was mainly down to Cobal's armour just absolutely failing in the second half.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer chap, really.
Hey, he might have been. I'll have less of that.
You don't get any extra points for brown nosing, Davo. And Andy, how did your week go? Your match.
I was playing against. Oh right, I thought you meant just general chit chat. No, my match.
Yeah.
My match. It ended in a 1-1 draw. And I had chances where I could have been stopped on my offence, so I'm lucky I scored. Equally, I had a chance at the end of the first half to go 1-1 up, equalise 1-1. It didn't happen. And I had chances to stop his drive where I needed a 3+ dodge to crowd surf the ball, and we didn't make the 3+ dodge. So, it was. We all had chances on all 3 offensive drives, and in the end of the game, it was 1-1. So, could have been anything really.
So that's two wins, 2 draws for the season for you.
It is, but we do now have a Minotaur. So we can welcome Stan Still onto the roster.
Stand still. Nice, nice. And that's actually quite clean for your team. So, well done in keeping it above the threshold.
I think I win the award for the highest TV in the league as well, by the way.
Davo sounds like an extra loud robot tonight. I shall turn Davo down a little bit.
Or off, either way.
I know, right? Yeah. So, well, good news from Firenork. We've managed to pick up a point. I know, right?
Did the coach away this week? Is that what happened?
No. We earned a point. We genuinely did. I'll tell you what, playing an Orc team with 5 linemen isn't easy against anyone. And to come away, in fact, opening drive, we actually got turned over as well. So, which wasn't great, I'm not going to lie. But then we managed to turn them over early in the second half to go 2-1 up. After he fumbled a handoff to his throw, I just threw the Goblin through the air, picked it up in the tackle zone, and off he went to take me 2-1 up. But by that time, because obviously Orc armour is wafer thin, I was down to 6 or 7 pieces, and I don't know what Charlie's moaning about. We'll see who's had worse dice this season, Mr. Banks, at the end of this first game. I'd be surprised to see if you can beat my minus, I think it's -6 casualties now, differential. I've caused 2 casualties in about 150 blocks.
I'll be surprised if I'm not there or thereabouts.
But yes, and what's more than that, after watching my superstar Blitzer, who has the movement 7, pick up a fractured skull. Fortunately, the Apothecary worked this week, and then watching a lineman die and another lineman die. So yes, that's right. That's 4 deaths in 2 weeks for my armor value 9 team. Not against very much. Oh, and there's an injury. Speaking of injuries, there goes a ghoul. So that's not good news for the undead, because obviously the ghouls don't have the regen. I do now have 3 blitzers. Everyone will be glad to hear. Although my superstar Goblin is missing next week against the team that's directly above me in 11th place in the table. I'm playing Telford Irving's Humans this week, so there you go. Right, looking at the board, Andy, it's turn 5 in this match. Have you with the match now? It's the Right match versus Darius. It's the Tooth Cove Pirates versus Young at Bones Mark II.
I have to admit, I thought we were going to be covering a different one, so I'm now quickly catching up.
That's all right.
It's just loading in. But yes, no, here we go. I am in live.
Which game did you think we were going to cover?
I thought we might watch the game where the toppers of Group B, who've won 4 games out of 4, are playing against last week's host, which is Ekawar.
I didn't know that one had gone live.
It's fairly new as well. Sure, we can switch to that in a little while.
Well, yeah, we can. We can see if this is resolved anytime soon. So looking at what we've got here on screen at the moment. So that was a 1 dice block on a mummy. Bold.
With it.
Oh, and an armor.
Oh, with an unskilled Black Orc.
Oh. Always nice. That's that mummy gone for a couple of turns at least.
Well, if I was the undead here, I think I'd be in. You're clearly in a lot of trouble. The question is, how can you fix this?
Oh, someone needs to mute their stream, by the way.
Is
that Charlie or Andy?
It'll be Charlie.
You need to turn the volume off on the stream, Charlie, please. Otherwise, we'll get a feedback. Good.
Is that better?
Well, we'll know in a few minutes because it catches up. There is a delay on the stream. Good evening, Farron. Good evening, Sabo. 90. What, you in the same room, Farron? You sitting there eating your popcorn whilst watching GCBC this evening? Nice. That there, Phil, or Monkey Boy as he was in Blood Bowl Chaos Edition. Good evening, Ceremal. Oh, by the way, shout out to Ceremal. I was listening to 3 Die Block, a couple of episodes from about earlier in the year. Let's just leave it at that. Ceremal has been trying to set up a tabletop club in Luton. So I thought I'd give him a shout out. So I'm wondering how that's going, Ceremal, by the way. Hope you've got a few members that are playing Blood Bowl. If not, you'll have to come down to we'll have to set a club nearer to London. Good evening, Waldorf, as well. Yeah. So the thing here, speaking as an Orc coach, and I'm atypical, I don't really get why this lineman's downfield like this. I mean, this is even I wouldn't be looking at a passing option in weather conditions such as this. Especially when you've got an early numbers advantage against the... Oh, it's not numbers advantage though, is it? It's 9 versus 9 at the moment. I suppose...
Well, I was about to give you my tactical assessment of what I'd do, and then Righty's gone and sort of shat all over it. I mean...
What would you have done?
Even-handedly, he's completely shat all over it, so there is that. Well... This is a bash-on-bash game, and therefore what you're requiring to do is you're trying to get an element of pitch control. You want your pieces to be stood up and you want their pieces to be lying down. And at the start of the turn, he had a number of pieces that were in base-to-base contact, which if you set the assists up correctly, you could have thrown some additional... You throw some blocks, and then at the end of the turn, you either push everyone away or you're marking pieces up and lying next to them, and then lying next to you at your feet. And he chose to do about 3 or 4 things in completely different order.
Probably just to annoy you, to be honest. Let's not forget that Righty does hold the record for the highest number of tournament losses.
Yeah, he has got the biggest amount of wooden spoons in the UKBBL.
Yeah, I think he get to take the donkey trophy home. So,
yeah.
Good evening, Falcon. I was sorry to hear that about your tabletop tournament, by the way, Ceremal. It's not much fun if you turn up every week beating people with flings. You'll have to travel down to London. But go on. Charlie, you were saying?
Can't remember what I was saying.
We're talking about winning the wooden spoon the most, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's got it 3 times, is it?
Yeah, it's 3. How many times has Duddy won it ever?
Duddy's got it twice.
Duddy's got it twice. Yeah, I do think that that Righty has won it more times than Duddy. So
Bulldog has got it twice as
Bulldog's won it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And Bulldog's quite good.
Well, Bulldog's he won it when he was using silly teams. He got slammed, didn't he? And he got absolutely mullered.
Yes, he got intercepted to win the wooden spoon.
I think he won it with dwarves, but we've yet to see a dwarf team do well at these things, have we?
You're right. We are yet to see a dwarf team do well. That is on my achievement list. I want to do well with a dwarf team.
You don't use anything that's not H4.
Well, that's not true.
Use Amazons?
That's true, but they do have Roxana running around.
He used Kemri once as well.
Yeah,
Pipe down. I also I've won it with Orcs, and they are just Edge 3.
No, okay, yeah. And then you used Orcs again, didn't you? What happened there?
I scored on the second day.
Good evening, Lupac, by the way. Thanks for joining us this evening. And good evening, Robbo, as well. Nice to have a few people in this evening. So, obviously, let's get the elephant out of the closet. Blood Bowl, the board game, has come out this past week on Friday. The new release, I guess, what do you call it, the 7th edition of the rule set? Is that right? 7th?
Is it 6th?
CRP was 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought CRP was 6.
Yeah, so it must be 7 then.
7th incarnation. So, have you had I assume, Charlie, you've had a chance to really digest it, living so close to Warhammer World and playing at the tournament this weekend. So,
I picked them all up on Friday.
Right.
So, actually genuinely impressed with it.
Okay. Why so?
Anybody that's not already owned the Blood Bowl game,
yeah,
it's perfect. It's an ideal starter set.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't get the full teams in it.
Yeah.
So, but they are releasing the blister packs around that.
Okay. And sorry, come. I mean, when you say it's the ideal starter set, I mean, one of the negatives, from what I've heard, is that the complete teams as they're advertised, I mean, nobody, well, I say nobody, even I don't build orc teams like that with the 12 players that you get.
No, and they're very honest about that. But the idea being that it's designed to be a set that people can pick up and play from start.
Yeah.
So in the rule books you get teams of renown.
Right.
So you get like the Bright Crusaders and Auckland Raiders as like special teams.
Okay.
So you get to they'll have like a team build with skills, and they've got special rules like the Auckland Raiders cheat. So there's a potential of one of your players missing the entire drive.
Okay.
As they go in and like sabotage him in the men's room. And Bright Crusaders never cheat, so you're not allowed to foul with them for whatever reason. But basically, if they outnumber you in casualties on a 4, I think it's 4 or more, you get a reroll back. So it's quite interesting.
So
not for everybody.
They've got
tournament players will probably hate it.
So they've got the fluff in there straight away.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of focus on that.
That's good. That's good. And what do you make of the miniatures? Because I mean, the big worry for me was the new scale of the miniatures.
There's not a great deal of scale creep, to be honest. They're not much different. I mean, I sent you some photos over the weekend, didn't I?
Yeah.
But they're not a million miles apart. You don't really feel it. It's probably the best way of describing it. Because the boards are a little bit bigger as well, so...
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the negative, because if you play on the bigger board, you need the bigger range ruler, so you kind of need...
No. Well, the range ruler you get with the box set is scaled up.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but you can't use your historic range rulers.
No,
but
you can still use the chart. The chart still works.
Yeah, the chart would still work, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Right, so, I mean, I've been frantically searching around the internet in the hope of getting a PDF of the new rules, but I haven't been able to find one yet, despite the fact I was told you would be able to buy it, so, which is very frustrating. I mean, I guess the only way around that is to actually buy the game. Very upsetting.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the price point is quite reasonable for Games Workshop.
No, absolutely, and if you hunt around, there are a few sites selling it even cheaper than what Games Workshop is selling it at, so that's pretty good indeed. And the NAF have embraced it, obviously, and it's good to see that. And I did see from the weekend, actually, on Facebook, some Facebook Live, and J-Bone was on it, wasn't he, I think?
Yeah, he was the first game.
Yeah.
And he also commentated on Game 4.
Yeah.
So
it's really good to see Games Workshop embracing it like this, and yeah, I really, really hope that it draws new people into the hobby. Absolutely essential.
Yeah, it was quite funny actually, because they did like a seminar after the tournament.
Okay.
To like show us what was coming up in the next 6 months and stuff. And they were literally ripping the piss out of J-Bone throughout it about his frogs. So obviously they've got rid of Slatton.
Has anyone noticed the mistake that the Orc coach has made here? Anyone?
The thrower can't actually score.
He's actually out of range.
Mm-hmm. You were talking, I didn't want to interrupt.
So the only way he can score now, let's looking at the match very quickly, is the only way it's the blitzer. So he's going to have to blitz the white out the way, and even then he's going to have to dodge past this ghoul. So let's say he gets a good block and he knocks that white down. Then he needs a 3+ to dodge the thrower. Is the cat?
I'd throw it.
Yeah, I'd throw it because you've got the reroll built in, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a 4+ with a reroll, so that's 75% chance of the throw working. A 3+ catch, a 3+ dodge, and then 2 go for it. Wow.
What could go wrong?
Oh, now that makes it harder.
Oh,
that makes it more difficult now. That changes things considerably. That makes it a 4+.
It's a 5+.
I suppose the
5+
way to
throw.
do it now, the way to do it now is to use the Black Orc as an assist and blitz the white out of the way, so you don't have to dodge with the Orc blitzer.
But if it doesn't fall down, you're actually making things worse. I would blitz with the Black Orc and push it to not in front of where the Orc is now, but to, a square diagonally forward, and then you can dodge, and it makes it easier.
It's still not great, is it?
Oh no, it's a bit of a shit sandwich, but I don't see you've got much of a way around it.
Let's see if he goes for it. And then whilst we're waiting to see whether Darius's play works here, I'm going to be talking about the York team event coming up and finding out if you've both decided on the races that you're bringing yet. So have a think about that. Verbal will be listening very, very closely. Good evening, Al Bundy, by the way. Good evening, Mailer, as well. Right, he didn't blitz. He actually didn't blitz, so he's going to have to blitz now with the. And he did get the knockdown on the white, so and now he's going to have to do 2 go for it into the end zone. There we go. Got 1, got 2. Right, now he needs the dodge. He does have a re-roll in hand. 1, 2.
Would you take 2 dodges there to make it easier, or just chuck it?
Well, speaking as the true passing connoisseur I am, the further the pass, the more spectacular it is.
Well, you've got to make the first dodge and see what happens. So if you use the re-roll...
Yeah, then you could...
True.
It is still going to be... Even if he makes both dodges, it's 4+ throw into 4+ catch.
This is the kind of play that would always work against me. That's how it feels this season. Charlie probably say the same.
He wouldn't have to make this play. He could just walk it in. All my players would be...
He's made the first dodge. Having said that, I have to admit that my match last week against Cantonais, not Cantona, Cantonais. Oh, and there goes the failed dodge. Here comes the reroll, and he's got a double 1. Oh no, it was a 2. 1, 2. Yeah, he had a 3+3+ to go ahead at the half, and fortuitously his passing thrower, so it's 3+ with a reroll, 3+ with a reroll because it was a pass to catch. It sailed very, very nicely off into the crowd, which was nice.
Why aren't Righty to surf this blitzer on first down zone?
Which? Oh, well, the one in the end zone.
Yeah.
Probably he may.
That'd be my first play, surely.
Well, it's an extra square for the white to do it.
Let's do it. Go. They're gonna push it, isn't it?
Yeah, but then that's dangerous. That's the kind of double skull type of thing that I'd get. That's how you kill ghouls, isn't it? Really.
I would have wanted to go.
And then, and you'll like this. I was playing the Cantonese team was humans, Charlie, and he had a blitzer with dodge, so it's a nice double. Went for a go for it. What do you think he rolled?
For the go for it?
Yeah.
It'd be a 1-10-10, surely.
No, it was a 1-1 because he re-rolled the go for it. Then a 12. Then a 10. Then a 66.
Oh,
Apothecary 64.
That's horrendous.
So he killed himself. And here we go. And he has surfed the blitzer. Oh, and he's all right. It's just a stun. Just a stun. That's the half. Right. So that's advantage undead. Righty stopped the drive. So he's not missing in too many positionals. He's only got the 1 ghoul, but the ghoul becomes the ball carrier. Lots of important knockout rolls for the orcs now, because outnumbered orcs against undead is not going to be pretty, is it? Let's be honest. Oh, and a foul.
That's needless.
Foul to boot. Yeah, that's a sending off. Get off. Off you go, you filthy animal. That'll learn him. Look at that. That was a double 5 followed by a double 1, then a 1 for the bribe as well. Was that a bribe? Did the bribe fail?
You have a bribe?
So look. 2 of them, the Orcs woke up.
Yeah, he did have a bribe, yeah.
Yeah, the bribe failed. So he rolled a 111 there. Winner car time. Right, so whilst they're setting up, obviously 2 teams of valiant UKBBLers are going up to York in early January to represent the UKBBL. What have we called the teams, Verbal? Did we actually decide what we called them?
East and West. We say we East and West.
We stayed with East and West, did we? So it's UKBBL East, UKBBL West. Representing Cyanide, believe it or not. We're not popular amongst tabletoppers. Although I think we got a little bit of respect last year, largely due to Thyrus being able to finish in 6th place with Wood Elves, and he didn't even know that they had sprint. But let's not dwell on that. Charlie,
I can imagine what he's going to be like this year when he actually knows what his roster does.
Well, before we go on that first, remind us, Charlie, how you did last season at the team event.
I don't want to talk about it. I won the Stunty Cup. That's what we'll focus on.
You did win the Stunty Cup. And what were you playing? You were playing the Ogres there as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
And what record did you go home with to win the Stunty Cup?
I got 1 draw.
1 draw.
1 draw. I blame you lot. You were all doing too well. You're dragging me up.
Well, my record was, to be fair, my record was pretty good at the end of the first day. It all went a bit wrong in the second day, but.
I totally misjudged what the tournament was like, didn't I? Because I wasn't prepared for it to be as uber serious as it actually was.
So does that mean you're going to play better this year?
Well, Verbal's already told me I can't use ogres.
Can't use ogres. You've said so many times that you're retiring them.
I know, I just can't do it.
So what are you bringing?
What
is your uber serious team?
It's either going to... I'm thinking either Norse or Amazons.
Wow.
But I quite enjoyed the Norse at the tabletop. Especially taking that point off Randy, which inevitably cost him the title, which was nice.
It was lovely, thank you.
Wow. So hang on, wait, the last 2 tournaments, Andy, you've had the title cost by me and Charlie, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just checking, just throwing it out there. Although I'd have to say the ridiculous play from Vulture Squadron also helped in the last tournament.
Oh God.
What a guy.
I tell you, I've utmost respect for somebody that fouls that much. But yeah, my game against him, it were over by turn 6. It were horrendous.
Did he beat you?
Yeah, well, he just 10-10, 10-10-10, and it was like, okay.
It's a fairly decent matchup, I think, for Britannians against Norse, because the mass fend, you lose the frenzy option, don't you?
Yeah, and it was, I made quite a big error turn 1, where I literally ran me Yeti into middle of nowhere to like blitz one of his knights. Got him down, didn't do any damage, and then he just piled his entire team around it and kicked it to death.
Ceremal says, let's not move past it. Ceremal's just remind us that you beat the rest of the field to that stunty win.
I absolutely did.
You did, because you actually didn't you finish last and still managed to win?
No, I didn't finish last. There was 3 people below me,
and none of them were playing stunty. Yeah.
No, none of them were.
Yeah, so you picked up the Stunty Cup. You actually, to be fair to you, didn't you win casualties as well?
Yeah, I got the most cas, but you can only win 1 award.
Yeah, and so you got the Stunty Cup because there wasn't any other Stunty coaches. Nice.
But yeah, there was that, yeah. Still take it, it's a win.
I think that most casualties is the better prize, isn't it? In the nice one to take home.
I would have said that, but actually, it's the Dice Cup has been really useful. I never thought I'd ever say that.
Okay, moving on to you, Andy. Remind us first of all how your team tournament went last season.
I genuinely can't remember, which probably means it didn't go very well.
I think you ended up 3-1-2.
Yeah, there we go. Didn't go very well.
You didn't have a great first day, did you? And then
I'm using the Amazon Roxana.
Yeah, see, in fact, I think Andy last year had a year of trying that that roster, and it just kept failing on him, as I recall.
Yeah, it didn't go as well as I'd hoped, I have to admit.
Because you won the UKBBL tournament once with the Amazon build, and you've never been able to replicate that. It's picked
That's
up
true.
the ball. Okay.
That is true.
But haven't you won the Welsh Open with Amazons, though, with that build?
No,
Okay.
no, I was going for a hat trick of winning the Welsh Open 3 years in a row, and it didn't. That was the year I took them, and it didn't work.
Okay. So it didn't work at several competitions.
Yeah,
Okay.
it didn't work all year.
So, all right. So that was last year, but this year we're expecting bigger and better things, especially after your second place in the Euro Bowl. What are you taking to the team tournament this year? And it's really important because I'm on your team, I understand.
I actually don't know. I'd like to take Norse.
Well, that's okay because Charlie's not on your team. So, oh dear, that troll can't throw like my troll. Oh, and he's hurt.
Oh dear.
He's hurt his goblin.
His own belly is alright.
It was a nice 11 on the casualty roll.
That is why you don't throw goblins in tackle zones. You increase the fumble.
Yeah. What did you roll for the throw? The throw teammate. So yeah, it's -1 of course to throw a teammate in the first place. So in a tackle zone like that, it's a 3+ is a fumble. So.
Because they're never accurate, so all you want to do is make sure that you actually get it off the ground.
Yeah. Strong arm helps though. Strong arm's nice with if you throw your little one a lot because you get the +1 then.
Yeah, Brick and Grotty is amazing. He was done quite a lot this weekend.
Yeah, well, Grotty's got the agility 4, isn't he? So does unfortunately Orc teams can't take them. So Andy, what are you taking to this year's team event? You're being deliberately oh no, because you said Norse.
Well,
If
I'd
you
like
can't
to
take
take
the
Norse.
Right? But I feel there's a but here.
I'm not sure I'll be able to. I'm not sure what team captain will let me.
Who's your team captain?
Isn't it Verbal? I'm not sure. Verbal organises it all and just tells me where I need to go.
Verbal, remind us who the teams are. You're taking Dark Elf, apparently.
Okay. Alright, fine.
What
I
am
do
I
want to try and push my ranking with them.
What am I taking, Verbal? I have to ask. I'd love to know what I'm taking.
Skaven, right?
Skaven. Oh yeah, can I take Skaven, Verbal? I'm your team captain, apparently, Andy. There you go.
Okay, what am I taking, Cap?
Well, if you want to take Norse, if you feel you can make them work, take Norse.
Well, the reason I want to take Norse is because I'd quite like to take Norse to a number of tournaments this year, including the UKBBL tournament in May. So I might do
in May.
Norse.
It's not in May. It's in March.
March.
It's in March.
March. I'd like to play 4 tournaments with Norse back to back. So I think it will be Norse.
Hang on a sec.
Oh.
Hang on. Who's in our team, Verbal? Hang on. He's saying Ugnash is taking Orcs. Verbal's Wood Elves. Apparently I am taking Skaven. I thought you were joking about that. I'm going to have to get my paintbrushes out. I've got to base them. My Skaven aren't based.
I've got the new team. I'll probably have painted up by then.
Hey, how's my Khemri team coming along, by the way?
They glued together.
Okay.
They'll be done for me.
Who's on the other team? Jim, Charlie,
Cyrus, and Stu.
Oh, Stu DDJ. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You sure Ugnash is taking Orcs? Is that definite, Verbal? I'm not convinced of that. We're having a conversation here now, viewers, about the team event, and we're not watching the Blood Bowl 2 stuff here. But this is important stuff. We are representing the UKBBL, and apparently I'm taking Skaven, which is probably not a great thing. I don't know. I can make Skaven work. I'd rather take Underworld. Can I take Underworld? Red rag to a ball. Can I take Underworld, Verbal? Tell me. And why don't Underworld count as a stunty team?
Because they've got rats in them.
Ogre teams have got ogres in them.
They've also got snotlings.
Underworld have got goblins. Come on.
We could go on at this all day. Jeesh.
Goebbels spinning his dummy out now. Whatever you want. Don't care.
We should actually have the conversation about it soon. Right, let's have a look at this match. Right, so the Undead have got the ball. How are we feeling about Righty's drive so far, Charlie?
He's not done no wrong, really. It's just, apart from following up with his white, I don't really understand why he did that. He's flooring him, but I don't think he's getting much in the way of challenge back to him, to be honest.
In this situation, with taking it to the half at 0-0, I suppose you play a little bit for time, do you?
Yeah, you've got to run the clock on this.
I suppose I suppose the danger here is obviously against orcs in this situation. Obviously, they're getting drawn into a bash fest with orcs. Their armour should see them through, unless your mummies can start picking up some great blocks. I suppose.
Well, this is the thing that the undead player has not been doing enough of, is he has hardly thrown any blocks with the mummies. So my concern here is he hasn't done any damage, but he hasn't tried to do any damage, in effect. I think the orc coach will turn over the undead coach here.
I think at the minute the undead are far too spread out. They can't bring enough weight to bear on one side. And like I said, at the minute the orcs got them pinned in. That stun on the white was fairly big.
Yeah. We could see some surfing happening here.
Well, Andy's head, he's already served 3 of these.
This is true. Charlie, talk to us about the ref arguing. What?
Arguing the call?
Yeah, arguing the call skill.
It's a bit of a throwback, to be honest, because it used to be in one of the old editions.
Yeah. So how does it work?
Every time you foul, you can attempt to argue the call. So if the ref catches you, you can try and convince him that it wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
So you roll a d6. On a 6, he believes you, and it's no longer a foul.
Right.
On a 1, you're sent off, so you can no longer argue the call.
And what does that mean for an undead coach then, who's the necromancer?
I need to reread that, because if that's the case, then the undead never used to be able to regen if the necromancer had been sent off.
Yeah.
There
used to be a special, because I know special play cards are back, and one of the old special play cards was actually you lose one of your coaches.
Oh, the look out, Sarah Weber.
Yeah. And then
that used to be quite funny. I used to aim for people's wizards.
Yeah, I watched one of the old UKBBL members crack a this was back in the tabletop, back in 3rd edition, and a friend of mine was playing dwarves against an undead team, and the undead team was the best team in the league, but he took 3 special cards. One of them was the one that eliminated the coach that we just talked about. The second one was you'd bribe the ref and you couldn't get sent off for fouling during the whole game. And the third one, that card he has, was you were allowed to make multiple fouls per turn. And basically he went on to just wreck this undead team. Completely wreck it, and they finished the match with like 1 fit player. So that's what special play cards can do to you.
Yeah, Brian, that might be right, actually, thinking about it.
I was chewing the fat, Verbal, by the way. I was chewing the fat about taking Skaven a couple of months ago. I'll play something competitive, Verbal, don't worry. It'll be something competitive. I just haven't decided yet which way to go.
Ogres.
I'm competitive with ogres.
Ogres is fun.
I qualified for the knockout phases of the World Cup. No, not the last World Cup, the one before, with ogres. I'll have you know. See, why is he not following up with that mummy there? I just don't get that.
It's what he's been doing all game. He's not been facing players with it.
I suppose he's a little bit frightened of the Troll's mighty blow, but
Well, let the Troll try and blitz it. It's a right turnover machine, isn't it?
oh, absolutely. It's not looking. Oh, he's starting to get captured because what the Orcs have done is they've come round either side of the undead here, and they're in their backfield. I tell you what, I do like about this the undead heads on the skeletons. They're like one of my favourite features, especially the guy that's only got half a skull. There's only 2 of the heads on display here, but there's one of them that's actually basically half a skull. It's brilliant. So, do we start talking about it? Blood Bowl 2. As bad as
sorry, somebody's at the door. I'll back in about an hour and a half. Yeah.
As bad as you thought? No, you've signed up for this. Good night, Mailer.
Is that? Yeah. The fact that they're actually still, I thought they would just not develop any for teams. So the fact that Nurgle's come out, that sort of started to show willing. And I still don't feel there's any interesting teams.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
They're all tier 1. They're all a bit dull. And that you know what I'm like. I like to play the stupid teams. So, from my point of view, until one of them gets released, I'm not really bought into it.
And the Orcs have managed to knock the ball free, and it's been a favourable bounce there. And the Orcs
He's picked up in the rain and he's
picked
off.
it up as well. That's about as good as it could have been, to be fair.
With a stun as well.
Yeah. Who do you mark here? I suppose you mark the white as the guy who can actually pick the ball up. Yeah, he's done exactly right there. Well played, Darius, there. Andy,
Well,
whilst
yes.
we're talking about it, because I know you... Oh. How are you finding Blood Bowl 2?
If I'm being completely, brutally, totally honest with it, I genuinely don't enjoy it as much as Blood Bowl 1 in terms of I think it has loads more things wrong with it. But I have no choice of playing with it because that's what everyone's playing now. So the times have moved on. I think I can now identify the pieces, so they are easier to identify than they were when I first started playing it, but they shouldn't be difficult to identify in the first place. So, yay for that. Graphically, yes, I suppose this is a little bit prettier. It hasn't got as many teams.
A little bit prettier.
It is only a little bit prettier. Partly, I have to run it on low spec because it's not very well optimized.
Update your drivers.
No, as in I have a fairly new computer. The game is not very well written. Fundamentally, not very well written.
Okay.
Go on then, sir.
I haven't really got a lot else. It is okay. I don't think it's an improvement on Blood Bowl 1. Genuinely don't.
It's playable, it's functional, and it's where everyone's playing now that plays online, that wants to play, that doesn't want to play Fumble. And no offence to any Fumble viewers, by the way. I have.
I mean, that's the big thing, isn't it? I mean, if you look at where the league was, we were hemorrhaging coaches every week, so the move needed to happen. To be honest, the move should have happened probably a season earlier.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
Just because the last season became a car wreck anyway, didn't it? Let's face it. But yeah, I mean, are they doing what they said they were going to do? Yeah, they're releasing teams, they're keeping it going. I was a bit concerned when I was at GWT that Games Workshop only taught Cyanide once a year.
Yes. That's what. Actually, I have to admit, that's once more than I thought they were talking to each other.
Yeah, well, to be fair, yeah. There was some conversation around would the new rule changes be replicated in Blood Bowl 2? And their honest answer was, we've not really thought about it. We've perhaps ought to pick up a conversation with them. But then they followed that up with, probably not.
No, and that's similar to what I'm hearing from the forums on Blood Bowl 2 side. It's not something that's been considered that much at the moment. He really needs to make a block here with his troll. So I suppose the escape move here is to blitz this Skelly out of the way. Hope you get the knock back and try to dodge away. I suppose that is the play to try and score the touchdown here, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Oh no, can you? No, you can't.
And the blitzer does have dodge, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Yes, that's a good blitzer. That I want one of those. I'm not
They
sure.
have to live long enough for you to get one of those. Sorry.
Thanks, Andy. That cutting me deep. I've got blitzers that have lived as long as this lot. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking I'm just getting ready for aging. That's why I keep losing players. It's because I'm preparing for aging.
Burbs has just pointed out something quite interesting. That I hadn't noticed that the banners around the pitch are actually advertising the new tabletop.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The banners on the screen around the pitch are actually advertising the new tabletop version. I'd not noticed that.
The game of fantasy football. You can see it right now.
So there must be some sort of...
Order the box game now and get 2 balls and 1 jersey.
Yeah. Little bit of subliminal product placement there.
Cabal vision. It's got. Obviously, I've got this is on very high graphic settings.
Yeah. For me, they are fairly much just blobs of yellow. Even with the laptop I got.
I was struggling to run the game actually, but I've upgraded my driver today. So I say struggling. I wasn't struggling to run the game. But, on high spec, I was having some issues with it. But whacked it up. It's nice to see the drizzle. Unlike in Blood Bowl 1 when it was raining in that underground pitch and you only had a bit of circular rain coming through. Always stupid.
Well, there was on that there was some discussion with the designers for new pitches for the tabletop version.
Oh yeah.
One being a Skaven and a Dwarf one that you can flip from front to back, similar to the Orc Human. But because they're subterranean, they have got their own specified weather conditions.
All right. Okay. Nice.
Which represent the fact that they're underground.
Good.
And there was a winter pitch on display as well, which is just mental. Because like you're pretty much playing in the blizzard and stuff like that all the way through it.
What the hell was that noise?
Someone was sandpapering things, clearly.
Sorry, Ceremal. We were looking at the pretties. So this orc fell over. He failed the dodge. And it's all looking rosy for the undead again now.
I still think the orcs are going to win this.
Yeah, well, the undead have got to pick it up with no reroll.
I don't know how the orcs are going to get to this ball right now.
It's going to take a couple of turns, but what will end up happening is the thrower will march downfield, and the thrower will pick it up and score.
Robbo, in answer to your question, unfortunately, the only time that you can see the fame is at the end of the game.
That's an improvement over Blood Bowl 1, where you could see it always. Do we think that coach of the Orcs has forgotten they've got a black Orc sort of halfway there in half because the camera orientation means that he's just forgotten about it?
To be fair, that happens to me. I forget that my throw is back there most of the time.
Even when he's got the ball.
Well, generally speaking, he usually only play left on pitch, so I don't know why I usually miss it.
Ugroth Cannonball. He's playing the strong safety position at the moment. Let's see if he moves this turn. Here comes the blitz on the scallywag. Oh, he's only got the push. Pushes onto the ball though. Dangerous in this situation, I think. Yeah, you see what happened there? Oh, it's worked out okay. It's worked out okay.
Now, I think you just stand up the blodging blitzer as opposed to dodging it out, because knocking it over and knocking it away from the other white is almost impossible.
I think
you have to knock it down.
I think I'd agree.
What I think the Orc coach didn't do was run the thrower far enough forward. So next turn, when you can get the ball, it's at the moment it's way too far away.
Oh,
but oh well.
I thought he's using a reroll there. Oh, no, down he goes.
I think that's a little foolish. He definitely has forgotten about that Black Orc. And not standing up the blodging blitzer was a massive mistake.
Yeah.
This, I think, is a game where you get to see coaches of different ability playing. And hopefully, if we watch the human coach that's won all 4 of his games, we can see, here are things you can do wrong, and then we will see things that this is how you do things properly.
Well, I mean, obviously these two coaches here aren't rolling enough dice. Yeah. The winter pitch is coming out for Christmas. Do they have reindeer and Christmas trees on it? Falcon's asking Charlie.
Oh, and there's turnover.
That was a foul pickup, wasn't it?
And if only he'd stood up that blitzer.
Robbo's pointing out, Andy, that actually in Blood Bowl Chaos Edition, all you could see was if you had fame or not. Your opponent could have had the same fame as you. You could have both had 1 fame.
Okay.
So
it's still an improvement over this system.
Admittedly, if you saw you had 2 fame, then you knew you had the fame.
I've got to be honest, I agree with Sarah on that. I think this is stampeding towards a 0-0.
No, Orcs are going to win 1-0. They've just got to have a turn where they do things in the right order. They just need 1 turn of doing things properly and they'll be fine. But I think he looks like he's almost hell-bent on trying to do it wrong.
I think he's banking on that 5+ pickup, if I'm honest.
Oh, he's fallen over.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe it is going to be a draw.
Down he goes. That's a double one there.
It shouldn't be a draw, but it's going to.
Yeah.
From
the jaws of victory, I snatched a draw.
Yeah. Al Bundy's just asked, when does fame matter on the pitch? It matters for several things, several in-game events, including cheering fans, brilliant coaching, pitch invasion,
Throw a rock.
Yeah, throw a rock, get the ref as well. Does it affect get the ref?
No, it doesn't.
No.
No.
Doesn't affect get the ref. Yeah, those are the main ones, isn't it? And then of course it helps with your winnings as well.
Yes, it's a free 10k, unmodified 10k at the end of the game.
Yep. So if you get +2 fame, you get 20k, which is nice.
Yeah, it's important. If teams want to do well consistently, you need to get a decent fun factor going to pay for the TV spiral will happen. As you win things, you will get more star player points, your TV will increase. So you need to keep ahead on the fame front, or the fun factor front.
Okay, looks like the undead are
he's
giving
playing
up.
for the draw, isn't he?
They're playing for the draw here. This is the blodging one, isn't it? So 2 turns to make something happen here.
Yeah, Ceremon's pointed out that +2 in a pitch invasion can be an absolute game breaker.
Oh, absolutely, 4+. In fact, I believe there is a special play card that or one of the special conditions that changes that +2 to +3 on the pitch invasions, so you're knocking players over on 3+. Just to throw it out there in the new box set.
Hold on, I've just got the special play card in front of me. I shall have a look.
Have you got the death zone yet? You got that as well?
Yeah, I've got that, yeah. The next one sounds quite good, actually, because it's got...
Lots of new star players in it as well, isn't there?
Yeah, loads of new star players. They were talking about one where an ogre with a halfling.
Nice. And some inside sources say there are going to be some new secret weapons.
Yes, they've said that there's going to be 2 new secret weapons for the goblins.
Interesting.
But they wouldn't divulge which they were.
I'm dying to know what. What would you put on goblins?
I think I said netters, but I was shouted down by that there Phil.
Netters.
Yeah, because there's in the old fancy battle there was like
Yeah.
So whether or not they could potentially come in, it's probably Squig Herder. That'd be quite funny.
You can have squig teams on Fumble. It's one of the variant rosters, I think. I'm trying to think.
You're right, Falcon. There is a Brickfarth and Grotty star player, yeah, but there's an ogre and a half coming out as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil's was shouted up with Squigs, and if anyone's likely to know, it might be Phil.
Oh, and there goes the mummies down. Right, so what can this Orc team do? How do you play this turn? No rerolls.
Turn 16, he's got to try and score.
No rerolls. I guess you... Oh, I don't know. What is the play?
None of that is easy. Yeah, Verbal's right, just roll some dice.
I think.
Alright. I'm just weighing your options. What are your actual options? So the guy lying down next to the ball can stand up and blitz the skeleton away on 1 dice, and 50% of the time it falls over.
It's the best option.
You can dodge through a tackle zone with the other blitzer and try and pick it up, and then dodge out the other side. So it's a 4+ dodge, a 5+ pickup, a 3+ dodge, and that's assuming you knock down the skeleton. Or
that's good play there. Now you blitz the skelly, and then it's a 4+ pickup.
No, because you can't blitz the skelly, walk up to pick the ball, and then walk backwards because you haven't got the movement.
5, 6. Oh no, you haven't. Oh, that's what he's done though. That's what he's done.
Yeah. No, you had to use the blitzer next to the white. You had to dodge the blitzer out near the white. So the blitzer that's now done the blitz has to go and stand in the end zone. You're going to have to hand the ball to him.
No, he'll follow him up. Nice.
Yeah, or you can not try and score in turn 16. I mean, that is another option.
It's a way to play. Yeah,
hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he can still score. This this blitzer here, number 9, needs to dodge past the white twice. So it's a 4+ dodge, 3+ dodge. 5+ pickup in the rain, 3+ dodge,
fair.
and 2 extra squares. Yeah, that's optimised.
That puts him one short, doesn't it?
No, you have to dodge 1 through. You have to dodge diagonally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, x square, extra square. You can do it with that blitzer number 9.
This is what Tier 4 will be like next season. If anyone is wondering,
There is no
this
tier
is what
4.
Tier 4.
There is no Tier 4 next season.
Oh, is there not? What is the lowest tier? Because this will be that.
Tier
Just
2.
so,
Tier 2 next season.
I'm looking forward to it.
Tier 2.
there'll be things like passing orcs. There'll be both Amazons will be there if the race was released or whatever Charlie's playing.
Human, yeah.
And there we go. And he dodged that way anyway.